A lot to develop and a lot to sort of just keep your hearts open here, but into draft of game 2, which could potentially be the last game of the day. So we're seeing the Dolia and the Gan and Mo band there from Star Wars Esports, and I can
no more.
I do not blame them. But they leave open the Kaiser again.
They're probably thinking, hey, you know, Kaiser's best pairing is the Delia. We ban out the Delia, maybe that auto bans out the Kaiser as well. But Alpha 7 has shown to us that there's more to the Kaiser pairing than just the Delia. We're gonna have to do the loot that sustain Dr. Bien is a secondary choice that can help out the Kaiser as well. So we may definitely see that coming from the side of Alpha 7. Alpha 7 does ban out the Jing as well as the Da Xiao, and picking up the Arlie and, like you said, the Kaiser for themselves.
Yeah, they're literally going, oh, okay, they're switching it up, going for the Angelo, who was just in the cinematic, who is always completely overshadowing my solo competitive rank matches as well. But they also get the Arlie, so they're switching up the Derenji, they're banning out the Derenji themselves and going for the Arlie. So this was the thing that I was talking about earlier, where you deny your own pick, but go for something else that you are definitely still comfortable with. And then we're looking over to Star Wars Esports. They are pretty much picking up the same team comp as the last time, hoping it works.
Princess Ross Zhang Fei as well as Musashi on the side of Star Wars Esports. I mean, they had a great early game. The rotations were fine. It's just that, you know, the little details, little movements that Alpha 7 did spot out, like the small chinks in their armor. And Alpha 7 fully exploited that. That's what a great team does, is that when you leave out small weaknesses, they exploit it to the fullest, and they tear open those wounds that wouldn't be as impactful as against a weaker team who cannot spot them out.
Absolutely. Speaking of little details and little influences, Little Luke gets banned on the side of Star Wars Esports, and that's paying attention to the little details, is making sure that hero, is off of the cards. And the last 2 picks of Star Wars Esports is looking like we're going to get Byron and Lubin as well. We did see Wawa on the Lubin yesterday, and it was a mighty fine performance, if I say so myself.
Absolutely scary performance from Wawa yesterday, and I'm pretty sure that he has more to show for us today. Pairing with the Zhang Fei allows him to play very aggressively, knowing that he has a bouncer to keep enemies back, especially this Kaiser, as well as Charlotte. There's 3 heroes that can get to him very easily. That's the Arlie as well, played by Almine. And yeah, he has to watch out for that. And he needs his team, he needs his Zhang Fei as well as Byron to always be ready to support him, because he alone can do the damage to bring down everybody. It's just a matter of keeping him alive.
Absolutely, but they definitely keep a little bit of
with the Blaze.
I'd happily approach Angela rather than approaching Ganamo, so definitely would be approachable in my books. But yeah, it's all about that combo that you get with Angela. You have to land it, or else she becomes, if one of those components don't land, you don't get the full effect of Angela's kit either as well. So I reckon A7's just got to really work on that and make sure that they do land that. Already hitting that first spell as well.
Yeah, they do have the Dong Huang to set up the skills from the Angela, so they have some easy setups. All she needs to do is just click on even the auto targeting should help you land those skills after the Dong Huang locks somebody down. So definitely not too hard, as long as Alpha 7 plays to what we know that they can play, the full potential.
Absolutely. I mean, I'm pretty sure that suppress has come through mainly for Musashi there, because how many times he dived under the turret to get those double kills. I feel like the Dong Huang is the only answer to that. But Zenon taking a lot of damage there from the Angela, and this is the trouble that you get playing against an Angela. Level 2, which has already taken up half your health. That's a problem.
Yeah, and you know, Princess Force is one of those lane harassers that can really do it all by herself, but Angela is no slouch as long as you land your skills. And the skills are much easier to land than Princess Frost's control skill. So if you land those skills, you can just always threaten the health points of this Princess Frost.
Yeah, and the range of Angela's first ability as well. She can check bushes before going into them with complete ease because it won't stop until it hits somebody within that range. So we see the Angela and the Kaiser rotating up into the top lane. Potential first blood here onto Mujoj.
Forced all the way back to his safety bush there. So he has to be very careful because right now Charlotte is cutting the wave, making sure that, you know, Byron, if he wants to go for creeps up in the top lane, shouldn't be taking damage.
Absolutely. I mean, that was a bit of a fatal move there by Charlotte, just cutting up the lifeline and the potential help from the minions there under the turret for Byron. But luckily for Byron, we see that Kaiser's actually gone back into farming because he cannot take too much time out of farming because then he becomes a little bit off the pace, especially against Ray on the Musashi, which had already a strong performance. But a little bit playful here with Charlotte and Kaiser both rotating up to the Sage buff. Byron already pretty low, so there's not much he can really offer in this. However, I believe it was Musashi who got the Sage buff.
Yeah, he got it in the end a little bit. Would have been a huge detriment to his early game if he lost that Sage buff. But thankfully, he still had the smite off cooldown and he was able to secure it. But bottom lane, they might not be able to secure this tier 1 tower any longer. Rotations are coming in from the Musashi going for the Angela. But Angela being still alive at the moment. The stun from the Zhang Fei doing so much. Suits dropping down very low at the back line. Princess Frost. Xenon able to secure the double kill for Wawa with the beautiful rotation from the back lines, and that will be most likely the bottom tier 1 tower falling for the side of Alpha 7 as Stalwart Esports start off strong once again in the bottom lane.
Absolutely, this is the mock match Wawa that we came to see today on the Lubin pick. Yeah, as you rightly said, they almost got that first tier turret down in the bot lane, and they haven't had to sacrifice that mid lane turret because I feel like if they do that again, I think that's the learning curve. That's where that learning needs to take place. It's like, yo, that is your holy bastion. Just hold on to it. Hold it like a newborn baby. You just don't want to let that mid lane turret go for a side lane turret. That's just a unfair trade. Worst trade deal ever. But Angela coming in here with the help of Charlotte. Charlotte may take the first turret though. Yep. First turret going over to Alpha 7.
4 minutes in, no more tower play to keep it alive. Oh, Musashi goes straight for the Arlie. Arlie manages to teleport away, but that will secure the first Tyrant of the game going towards the way of Stalwart Esports. It's a good start so far for Stalwart Esports. Let's see if they can keep it up and make this, force this into game number 3. Benigna's pops his ultimate, going straight for Ray Princess Frost, trying to buy some space, but it's not going to be enough. The Kaiser is just so sticky in his ultimate form. You can't do damage, you can't force him away. And that will be your jungler falling and losing the buff as well to Ray.
They lose the buff, but they do also get the Tyrant, so I think it's a little bit of a trade there. It's something already been proven from that first match and being able to secure the Tyrant for themselves rather than Alpha 7, which really gave them a firm start on the after the 4-minute mark for themselves in game 1. Going into game 2, Stalwart Esports already slightly improving here. They still manage to take the bot lane turret. They lose the Clash lane, but hold on to the mid lane turret, but also secure the Tyrant as well. But again, it's still very murky waters. They are ahead by 1 kill. But like you say, once this Kaiser is on you, he's like a bad itch until you are gone. But here we go, Zhang Fei going in with the ultimate beast mode comes on. There was a focus on the Arnie, but was soon then redirected onto the front line. Frozen is Dong Huang there. Dong Huang goes down. That is a 3 kill to our Stalwart Esports. Picking up another one is Wawa taking down the Charlotte as well. So overall, 2-3 trade for a 3-2 trade, sorry, for Stalwart Esports.
Yeah, Princess Rose's ultimate was just so huge, stopping them from retreating and allowing them to just clean up the mess in towards the mid lane. They did lose Wawa and Ray. You do not really want to see that, but still a 2-3 trade is what you can get at the moment, and Stalwart Esports will be happy with that. They do lose the bottom tier 1 tower though. Let's take a look at the replay once again. Princess Frost, look at the ultimate. Oh, that just stopped the retreat entirely, and that set them up for more and more kills. Almin This was an aggressive flicker from the side of Wawa. He knew that he had to pay with his life after he did that. But, you know, the emotional damage was huge.
Absolutely. I mean, Musashi went in there with the right intentions, trying to knock up the Charlotte, so he didn't manage to get the kill onto Lubin, but unfortunately it just fell short, and Lubin did fall, however. But yeah, it's still all to play for. We see that Byron managed to get the Clash Lane first tier turret as well. There's a lot going on in this red buff into mid lane on the enemy side of the jungle here. Overlord is still up for grabs, but it's looking like Charlotte is going for that split push potential down in the farm lane to try and pick up another turret, opening up those side lanes, which once again, it's not as fatal as losing that mid lane turret, but it's still a huge necessity to your team to stop that access to the jungle. But once again, why we dive in the Kaiser? Kaiser can take the damage. We can see that. He becomes very, very sticky in that ultimate, and we just lost Byron to a Watermelon issue as a misplay.
Yeah, that was not the position you want to fight in. It's not a target you want to go for as well. Without the nukes, without... and just gets bursted down. Wawa was just at the edge waiting for him on his umbrella. But Ignis, without the ultimate, is not as tanky as you would think he is. And he does fall as well. So they managed to salvage the situation for the side of Star Wars Esports. And finally, this tier 1 tower looks like it will finally go down, this time towards the way of Star Wars Esports.
Yeah, I feel like the only way they can really counter that Kaiser pick is from the true damage of the Leuven there, really shredding the health of Kaiser. But if you're just going in with just pure attack damage like a Byron, it's definitely not the play to go for. It's just it's a hard 1v1 to come out on top of it, especially with his teammates nearby. But Star Wars Esports, once again, are looking for improved gameplay here because they have the Tyrant taken down, the movement speed is increased, and the damage output has been increased also. I mean, right now, does Wawa need a damage output increase? Probably not, but give him it, he will give you a Quadra, hopefully. That is what we're riding on here. But again, this is definitely looking like a much more fruitful match for Star Wars Esports.
Yeah, Wawa almost completing his Daybreaker already. That's going to be the huge power spike on the marksman, allowing him to do more damage in a safer position, providing that additional crit chance as well as attack speed. Not to mention the range does increase for the Luban number 7 as well. So he is pretty much almost there, probably another 1,000 gold before he reaches that. And once he has that, there's no answer for him at the moment except to just jump him with the Charlotte and Kaiser and hope he dies before he wipes your entire team.
Absolutely. I mean, that's going to be like a great sense of pride, knowing you're playing a hero that needs 3 enemy heroes to jump onto you just to try and take you out. But when you've got the likes of Zhang Fei, and the Princess Frost, Musashi as well, you're really sort of trying to shut down that pile-on of the Lubin here.
Absolutely. You have so many ways to disengage, so many crowd control to keep people back in their position. So Wawa is feeling very confident. He's just doing the damage on towards the Shadow Overlord here. Zhang Fei has to pump the ultimate to stay alive, but he might be caught in a bad position. Gets locked down there by the Dong Fong and gets brought down instantly. But they did manage to secure the Shadow Vanguard on the side of Star Wars Esports. They destroyed Yarn. Musashi towards the back. The damage is just enough, but Ignis tried to run away. Wawa a bit too far to finish off the kill. But still, a lot of damage being dealt towards the back lines off the side of Alpha 7. And Star Wars Esports will take that fight very handily.
Absolutely. I mean, I recognize what Suits did there. He tried to replicate the Ganmo critical thief onto the Overlord there, but it just wasn't quite the same kind of flavor he was hoping for. He did use the ult, however, it did not steal the Overlord, which I can only assume Star Wars Esports is very thankful for. But they're paying attention to the small details of Wawa using his rockets to try and find out where the enemy jungle is, making sure to see if it's not on the Sage buff. Obviously, it was used a little bit too early. He was on the Sage buff, however, and he still managed to secure it as well.
Important buff there for the Kaiser to be able to continue fighting. You know, that allows him to have a shorter cooldown on his skills, which allows him to heal a little bit more. But right now, gold is pretty even despite, you know, Star Wars Esports having such a great start. most of their gold is just being held there by Wawa. So if you bring down, if you're able to just burst down the marksman, then you're suddenly having that 10
You're in trouble.
advantage. Exactly.
Yeah, in huge trouble. They're looking to pick up another Tyrant here. It's a little bit of a change up here for A7. So Alpha 7 Esports, I feel like they've lost a little bit of a tempo here. Maybe they're stalling the tempo. They've kind of put it on a standstill, hoping to just burst out, get a bit more farm, and then hope to come out on top of this next team fight, it seems. But Stalwart Esports are definitely rotating. They're definitely farming it pretty well, and it shows in the gold difference. It's not a huge difference in terms of their lead, but it's a difference nonetheless. And being mental, that's great.
Nignas just walked into a bush and he walked away with half HP. That was a 1 second burst damage coming from the side of the Nuba number 7. That's why you do not face check your bush, even if you're a Kaiser. That's just way too scary at this point.
Especially when there's a Lubin on the enemy team. If any of the marksmen, you're kind of like, okay, that's fine. I'll go in there. I'll stick to them. I'll take them down. But not with Lubin. No, he is Mr. True Damage here. Mr. Wawa on Mr. True Damage. We've got to make sure they don't leave the Lubin too open. I mean, he's front of the queue there, but still, the rest of Stalwart Esports is just denying the entry onto Lubin.
Yep, Q's position was perfect. Oh, but the ultimate catching him.
I just jinxed it. I jinxed it. I'm sorry, Wawa. You had to sort of witness that suppression from Dong Huang there. And you can potentially see the Baron go down. It's a 3v1. Could he take down Angela before he goes down? No, she flashes over the wall. Suits played that very nicely. The positioning of Angela was beautiful.
Musashi goes straight for the Arlie. Arlie might be in trouble here. One more hit and she will fall. Yes, she does. Musashi throws the backline. Can he get Angela? Yes, he can. Taking 2 is the best they can hope for at this moment. 2 huge damage dealers being brought down here from the side of Alpha 7. That leaves only the Kaiser as well as Charlotte. 2 heroes that do not do huge tower damage, and with the Princess Cross still alive there, that means that there is no other objective that Alpha 7 is able to take after losing that Arlie.
Absolutely, we have the Shadow Overlord there, but it's not looking like it's going to be on the priority of Kaiser there. He's definitely, and rightly so, taking that Sage buff, because as we say, it just helps the Kaiser's kit so much more than an Overlord would right now. So taking and denying the Sage buff from Musashi right now is definitely the play to go for.
Definitely, he knows what he needs. He knows what his team needs. It's him staying alive as long as possible, providing pressure for Wawa so that he cannot play as aggressively as he likes. So that's the name of the game right now. Both teams poised around this Shadow Overlord, trying to secure it the best they can. Every single ultimate is up and running, and they will look to take a huge fight to try and further the lead or take the lead back to the favor. But Ignis, dangerous. Xenon still throws the backlines, casting skills, scouting out for his team. Wawa's.
Oh, nice, nice.
He's stealing.
Using those rockets as visions. No, just using the rockets as visions there. I don't think he stole it, but we've seen that suppression go onto Wawa once again. That is a denial, and this is what Alpha 7 was probably just looking for and waiting for. Was just having the confidence from Dong Huang, being able to survive the brutal barrage of Team Stalwart Esports in order to get to the prize possession, which is Luban here.
Yeah, I would take that trade any day if you're Selena. You know, sacrificing your life to bring down Wawa, you would do that every single day of the week and twice on Tuesdays as well, because that allowed them to secure the Shadow Overlord, and that's going to give them additional map pressure towards the mid lane, because they finally will be able to take down this mid tier 1 tower without Wawa holding it on, without Blue knocking them back. They will open up a big part of the map for themselves and even things out in terms of the power advantage.
Absolutely. I mean, they've been holding on to that mid lane for quite some time. It's actually going into the back of the queue there, and he waited for quite some time. But the pick of this Angela has been a really hard suppression for Musashi to actually even try and do anything, because by the time he's actually jumped in, they're dead. And once again, they tried to go for the Lubin, but Dong Huang is nowhere near, and the suppression is only just come up on cooldown. So we see that Kaiser goes down. That is a trade. I would say that's a fruitful trade from Stalwart Esports taking a solid 2-1 trade there.
It definitely helps to stem the bleeding a little bit, keeping their network close across both sides. Things are very even. I mean, 4 to 5 towers basically even at the moment, and the network is basically dead even right now. So this is as close as a game as you can get against Alpha 7, one of the favorites to win the entire Invitational. And we are reaching the point in the game, Blam. We are almost there at the 20-minute mark.
We are, and I mean, Stalwart Esports have done themselves proud. They've managed to survive longer than 11 minutes and 59 seconds, which is definitely an improvement. Even if they don't win this round, it is still an improvement on what they've had before. But they're looking to steal the Tyrant, and Suits coming in with that crucial steal for the Tyrant. 1 on the Overlord, 2 for the Tyrant, and that's just a little bit of an upset there for Stalwart.
Stalwart Esports is going to have nightmares of this Angela. I mean, first it was the gun and more in game number 1. Now it's the Angela getting 2 crucial steals on these important objectives. Might be the game changer right now. Ray, a bit in a precarious position, but with Xenon providing the backup, saving him for the moment.
Absolutely, Charlotte making fine work of that clash lane as well, trying to get pushed to that high ground turret, as so do his teammates as well, looking to try and get that clash lane high ground turret also. But both of those efforts have fallen short there, but they still managed to push the waves before the minions get there. So they should, in theory, time that correctly, but with that wave clear from Princess Frost, it is going to be denied in the clash lane. But it's just all waiting to brew here. Down goes the second tier turret in the mid lane. Something is about to happen, and I don't know if it's good for Stalwart Esports.
Wawa does complete his Sage's Sanctuary, which allows him to have a second life, a second win if you like, to be able to continue fighting on. He already has the Blood Reaper as well, so that allows him to heal back to full after coming back to life. So that's going to be very important because he's been the heavy focus, right, of Selena.
Absolutely.
And if he's able to survive the ultimate coming from Yidong Huang, that's going to help them win the fight.
Yeah, having that second wind is definitely something that Alpha 7 will have to play around. Because, I mean, it's taken them most of the match to find out how to play around the Wawa here. Trying to jump on with the Dong Huang, and then that's it. Once he's out of the fight, that's all great. But now he has that second wind. It's kind of like, right, okay, so how are we going to do it now? We're going to try and pick him up before he gets the second wind taken off him, or are we going to still do the same thing and then hope that we can just run him down on his second wind as well?
Yep, or just kill all of his teammates and kill him twice. That's
yeah.
30 seconds before the Shadow Tyrant is going to spawn up in the top. Selena looking for Wawa.
Oh, nice stun there. Oh, my God, flashing onto that.
The ultimate
Byron looking to be picked up here. Yep, Musashi looking for the rotate round. He's looking for the Ali. He's looking for... Oh, what a nice flash over the wall by Suits there. That really denied the win from Musashi there. Ray probably feeling very deflated right now, knowing that he missed out that skill shot on the Angela, but down goes the Dong Huang, so that is already Lubin being opened up for full potential. Down goes Kaiser as well. There has been a 2-1 trade so far on the side of Stalwart Esports. Can they manage to take the Tempest Dragon? If they do, this could be a 1-1 victory here, going on to a full best of 3. They've really got to hope so, but Angela's still holding her own. They have no jungle to take the smite as well. Why did nobody take out Angela?
3-for-3 trade there. I thought it was over, but they managed to bring down the Musashi before he dealt any more damage. So Alpha 7 managed to hold on, still hold on to a 1,000 gold lead. Not a huge lead at this point in the game. It's basically not even a single item at this point. So
nah,
it is gonna be tough. This last fight around the Shadow Tyrant is gonna be very crucial on both sides.
Absolutely. I feel like whoever gets this Tempest is going to be the victor of this match. But Again, I've said it once and I'll say it again, Star Wars Esports have beaten that one 11 minutes and 59-second mark, so I think anything is a given from here and is something to take on stride and learn going into day 3, which is their next match against Twisted Mind. But we don't know much about Twisted Mind. Will they be as big as opponent as A7? We are yet to find out, but this is where it's all going to start to conclude here. Charlotte is on the rotate down from the farm lane. Dong going in onto the Princess Frost. Princess Frost already looking pretty low. Dong just manages to escape the AoE of Lubin's ult. It's currently a 2-1 trade for Alpha 7. It's now a, still 2-1 trade. It's still all going down. Lubin is still up, but Charlotte is now resurrected after dealing so many deaths to Star Wars Esports, and it is 4 remaining out of 2 on Star Wars Esports now, and there is a push waiting to happen in this mid lane. I feel like this is A7 taking a 2-0 here, but it's been a hard-fought defeat here for Star Wars Esports.
Charlotte, the rotation, the position that she was in was just absolutely perfect, cutting straight towards the backlines, allowing her to do so much damage, and also pressuring the WoW